Yes.
That's how we know. That's the permissive will. The second part is his decretive will, or his decreed will. His sovereign, determined, and immutable desire for each believer to conform to the image of his Son. That's his decree. Now, that's the part that's not flexible. The permissive will, there's some leeway there. Okay, he permits us to do certain things as long as we stay within the bounds of righteousness for his name's sake. He'll let us do certain things. But in his decreed will, at the end of the day of your road to perfection, you will look like his Son. You must. He says, for by whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn amongst many brothers. See, we're the many brothers. That's us. But we can't be brothers if we're not conformed. Brothers look alike.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Decreed will. Because of its dual nature, the will of the Father does not correspond to a singular model. As a result, it will be unique for every individual. Because that principle is flexible. So, from where I'm at, to get to perfection, Brother Scott, it's not the same road for you. Okay, it's similar, but there's a difference. So his will at the lowest level is not the same as my will. It's my life. In fact, at the end of the matter, this is what his will is for all of us, at the high level. If we accomplish his permissive will and don't fail there, and we also accomplish his decreed will, and we be conformed to his Son, we execute his will. That is our perfection. It's that simple. This isn't rocket science. This is not the book of DLN. This is Scripture. All Scripture here. Any questions? Just bless them.
I just had a comment about how you said this is not rocket science and looking at the whole sum of the perfection will of Yahweh. However, in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, the writer says, "Let us hear the conclusion of the entire matter. Fear Yahweh and guard his commands, for this is the duty of all mankind." So many times people make it difficult. He already tells us it's not hard. Honor me, keep my commandments. And then in the part talking about the Father's sovereign, determined, and immutable desire for each believer to be conformed to the image of the Son, that is his will for us all. And we know that his Son, Yahusha, did all those things that were pleasing to the Father. And that was to keep his commandments, and he honored him. So it's really not, it's not hard, but religion and people's ideology, they try to complicate this beautiful and simple plan of perfection and holiness.
Yes.
It is a beautiful plan. It is a simple plan.
Just to add to that one, I think we sometimes forget one of Yahusha's purposes in addition to coming and being the sacrificial lamb that was to be our example. He showed us the way. So, he's the one we should look to. Too often we look at each other, who we compare ourselves among ourselves, which is unwise according to Scripture. And, well, I'm not as bad as so-and-so. Well, I'm a little better than Sister Smith over here, but not as bad as Brother John. And, we should be looking at Yahusha. Let us mark the perfect man. That was him. So that's, we can't bring our expectation down because we're looking at each other. We need to be looking at him.
Hallelujah.
That's right. Well, this is definitely an advanced class. You're going ahead, and that's all right. That's all right. We'll just have to skip through a few spaces. That's all right. And I knew that. So it's okay. Now, the accreditation of perfection. Okay, so how is it actually prescribed? How do I know at what point I am now perfect? So again, once we have mastered his will, he infused perfection unto us. Once we master his will. And over the next 6 days, I'm going to show you scripturally how we master his will. It's easy to understand, but because Sister Scott said we have to give up so much. And it's a sequential process that becomes difficult because our human nature gets in the way. But I'll show you perfectly, plainly how it happens. Divine imputation is the assignment of a spiritual attribute or position to man based upon the fulfillment of legal requirements. Okay. So that's where Yahuwah, he assigns a spiritual attribute to us. Because in our physical, fleshly state, we never want to. I'll show you why. Now, first of all, it's scriptural. 20 says that Abraham staggered not at the promise of the Father through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving glory to Yahweh, and being fully persuaded that what he had promised, he was also able to perform. And therefore, it was imputed unto him for righteousness. Okay? And then James 23 says, this is our confirmation of an Old Testament verse. This is evidence of it. He was called the friend of Yahweh because he was a sign of righteousness. Okay? So it's scriptural. There's precedence there. I'm not making this up. Okay? It's scriptural. Next, it's necessary. Isaiah 64:6, it tells us that, behold, we are all as an unclean thing, and all of our righteousnesses are as filthy rags. And we do fade like a leaf, and our iniquities, like the wind, have carried us away. What that means, folks, is that because of our iniquities, we don't mourn it. We shouldn't be considered, but we're taken away from it, from consideration. But he loves us. So what he does is he assigns a spiritual attribute to us that saves us if we follow the associated requirements. Therefore, we are now certified to inherit eternal life. This transpires when we become holy. That's why we have the dreams of holiness. That's why the book is called The Pinnacle of Holiness. When we become holy, everything that I said does talk about perfection, eternal life, divine imputation, mastering the Father's will. That all happens when we become holy. That's the major milestone in the life of a believer, becoming holy. Okay? So the majority of the conference from this point on, we're talking about holiness. Okay? Any questions about the process so far, how we inherit eternal life of perfection, how we're assigned perfection because of the love of the Father and he imputes it to us? Any questions? Is this? I try to make this easy to understand in my book. I try to make the presentation, but it's not. It takes work to make it easy to understand because things in my mind. Oh. So, any questions? Okay, we'll keep going. You want to hold this one? If we don't first become holy, the Father will not impute perfection unto us. As a result, we would have no things into eternal life. To confirm this, we must prove that holiness is a primary objective of the Father's will. Because we at first said the Father's will is the what? Perfection criteria. So if it's perfection criteria, holiness must be the objective of his will. So I think we can prove that. The Father's will is our sanctification. Who has a mic? Can you read that for us? 1 Thessalonians 4:3. Oh, it's up here. The verse is up here.
Is it on? Okay. For this is the will of our Master, even your sanctification.
Okay. So his will is our sanctification. Let's start, if you will. Sanctification is perfection criteria.
But this man, Messiah, after he had offered one sacrifice of sins forever, sat down at the right hand of our Master. For by one offering he had perfected forever them that are sanctified.
By one offering, he has perfected everyone that becomes sanctified. He perfects us with one offering. Okay, so the Father's will is sanctification. Sanctification is perfection criteria. Now we must prove that holiness is the end of sanctification. Let's come one more time.
For I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy.
If we sanctify ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, we shall be holy. This is one of 15 scripture references that verify that holiness